the Nike Air Trainer 3 really became, known as your shoe, became synonymous with Bo Jackson. What do you remember most from wearing that sneaker, and how special is that shoe to you, the Nike Air Trainer 3?
Well, I'll put it to you like this. In 1969, when I was in the first grade, growing up in rural Alabama, during the winter of 1969 and part of 70, it's actually in the mid 30s outside in Alabama, and I had to go to school barefoot.
Wow.
No shoes. And I'm not saying this for sympathy or a sob story, but I can remember my brother standing a block away from the house. I'm in the front door. My sister standing a block away from my brother, and my other sister was at the bus stop. So when my sister at the bus stop saw the bus top the hill a couple of blocks away, because they had to stop to pick up kids 2 blocks away, she would yell to my other sister. That sister would yell to my brother, and my brother would yell to me. And I'd take out the door barefoot. And by the time my brother got to my first sister, I would have caught him already. And by the time we get to the bus stop, I'm 15, 20 yards in front of my brother and sister. So from going to school barefoot during the winter of 69 to growing up and obviously doing something right to where I have a sneaker named after me, it all goes back to what I said. Number one, I was blessed. And number two, I did something right. Don't know what it is, still trying to figure it out, but I did something right. So to have my own shoe and to have people after 30 some odd years, people still brag about that shoe. People still try to collect that shoe. It's funny, a couple of weeks ago, a good friend of mine, Anthony Anderson, the comedian, he calls me up. He texts me up, say, "Hey, Bo, I'm doing a show, man, and it's a show about all my sneakers, and I can't find your Air Trainers. I need a pair of your shoes." And just so happened, I got a pair sitting in my office. I said, "Hey, well, I got a pair here. I can just send them to you." And it's things like that to where I sit back and go, wow, I can't, it's just, it always surprises me of things that happen to where I had a big involvement over 35 years ago, people are still excited over. Mm-hmm. And to have my friend like that call me up and say, "Hey, we are doing a shoot within 4 or 5 days, and the only pair of shoes that I don't have, famous sneakers I don't have, is yours." So that tells me either one or two things. He can't find them anywhere, or he's too cheap to go buy them. So I FedExed him a pair overnight, and and he was able to do his show.
So, touching off that and, spinning it forward, this season, New York Giants running back Saquon Barkley got his own version of the Air Trainer 3. How special was that to see him pay homage to you on the Air Trainer 3? And do you have a pair of his version?
Well, to be honest with you, but I blessed him on those shoes. Welcome. But it's like me saying, "Grasshopper, it's your time now to carry this torch, and you have to carry it well." And I know that he will do a good job in that. Saquon is a good kid. He reminds me a lot of myself. Mm-hmm. Got a lot of power. He runs with power, and he has his head on straight. Mm-hmm. And that's the thing that impresses me most. It's not his stats. It's not that he's recognized as one of the top NFL running backs in the game. It's just the fact that I love the way the young man carries himself.
Mm-hmm. There obviously is and always will be only one Bo Jackson, but when you reflect upon the NFL running backs that have come after you, who are some that remind you of yourself in terms of athleticism and ability as a running back in the National Football League?
Well, I can only think of two, and I can name them: Saquon and Derrick Henry.
Mm-hmm.
Saquon and Derrick Henry. As far as just brute strength, I would have to say on the brute strength and power and knowing how to navigate yourself around the field, around the defense. They necessarily don't have to have the speed that I have, but they have made it work for them. They are very successful at what they do. And that's why they are looked at as two of the top running backs in the game right now, or the two top running backs in the game.